Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Al-Khaifi. We're going to talk about partograph or partogram, whatever you call it. It's right, and it's a very important tool that we can use during labor and delivery. For me, it's like a story that you can tell about your patient, um, about the baby, about the progress of labor, vital signs, fetal heart rate, cervical dilatation, medication, and a lot of information. You can get it from a glance of one page. So, what is partograph, or what does consist? The first part is general information about your patient names and file number, gravida and para, and here the rupture of membrane. Either it could be membrane intact or membrane absent. Could be membrane intact, MI, membrane intact, that means the membrane is still there and it hasn't ruptured yet, or membrane absent, which means the membrane is not there and most likely it's ruptured. The second part of it, it's about the fetal heart rate, and every 30 minutes we go to the electronic fetal monitoring, the trace or the CTG, and we measure the baseline that we explained in one of our videos, the baseline of the fetal heart rate, and you can just plot it right here. Like for example, if the fetal heart rate was 120, then after 30 minutes it was 130, then maybe decrease again to 120, maybe increase to 160, 130, and so on. And then you just can draw a line between the dots just to help you to see if the fetal heart rate within the normal range. The liquor here we mean by it's the color of the fluid of the water that come out of the amniotic membrane after the membrane rupture. And it could be either, if it's clear, it's going to be clear liquor, which is you can just write C. And if it's, for example, blood stain, you can just write P. So C mean clear, P mean liquor mixed with blood, and if there is a meconium, it's going to be M, which means meconium stained liquor. So this is for the amniotic fluid, and what we should write right here in this area. And the molding is just, we mean by it is the overlapping of the skull bone when the baby's head is descending and moving downward during labor and delivery. So the bone of the head will overlap each other so it can go through the birth canal. And we measure the molding as either +1, +2, +3, and the only way we can know about that is through vaginal examination, but we might explain this one day inshallah. The vaginal examination, we can assess if there is molding or no. And the way it's plotted here is either +1 or +2 or +3. Okay, so how about the other part of the partograph? And we're going to talk about the most important part of the partograph, which is the cervical dilatation and the head station and so on. I'm going to talk about a little bit of detail here, technical detail. So here, if you can see the cervical dilatation, and it's marked as X. So when we plot the cervical dilatation reading, we write X. And when we plot the findings about head station or descending, we use circle. Remember, hopefully, of course, it may be normal, and the normal position is cephalic presentation. That's why it represents by a circle when the head is descending through the vaginal canal. The birth canal, or X for the cervical dilatation. And as we can see, this is each big square here, it's 1 hour. Here, 1 hour, entire hour, and there it is an entire hour. And if you see the small squares, it means half an hour, 30 minutes. 30 minutes here. 30 minutes, and this part is like represent an entire hour throughout the partograph. So how are we going to use it? But before that, let me talk about here this more explanation latent phase. This is the latent phase. Represent the latent phase, which is from 0 dilatation to 3 cm, and active phase when it's 4 cm and more. Okay, and we have here the alert line, which means if the patient passed the alert line, we have to be careful that the labor start to get longer than it's supposed to be. As like a general rule, 1 centimeter dilatation is a cervical dilatation. It takes 1 hour in the primigravida, and 1 hour in the multigravida might help her to dilate to 1.5 to 2 cm. They're 1.5 hours. So this is the alert line. How about the action line? We don't want to go here. We don't want to go to the action line, because that means the labor is prolonged or probably obstructed labor, and we are passing the alert area going through the action line. By this time, an action has to be taken by the nurses, by the midwife, and the doctor and the medical health team. So again, we have the latent phase here, we have the alert line here, and we have the action line here. And as you can see, once the latent phase pass here, the active phase start here, which is 4 centimeter and more. Okay, so let's